Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are going to discuss about our monthly market outlook for March 2024. I am Nupur Shah, Wealth Manager at Weltrust Capital Services. Weltrust Capital Services is a full boutique wealth management firm in Mumbai. Today, we have two panelists here, Sneha Jain, who is the founder and CEO of Weltrust Capital Services, and Shubham Jha, who is the Senior Research Analyst at Weltrust Capital Services. So, Sneha Jain, over to you.
Thank you, Nupur, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. So, first, a topic which a lot of people are asking us about is the last 1 month. We've seen a lot of correction in the mid cap and the small cap indexes. The mid caps have fallen about 5-10%, and the small caps about 10-15%. Now, why this is happening? What is the reason for the small caps and the mid caps to correct this way? So there are four main points as to why this is happening. First of all, SEBI's chief, warned regarding small and mid caps having froth. A lot of froth is getting, where we feel that, there's overbuying into small and mid cap space, and especially the non-quality companies. And SEBI did raise concerns and ran liquidity matrix with funds, AMCs, to check whether if we had to sell a small and mid cap fund, how much time would it take to liquidate the overall portfolio? Okay. And of course, the AMCs came back with the responses, etc. So SEBI is also warning against this. And what this could potentially do is move a lot of assets or, some investments in the large cap space. Okay, so large caps look a little more undervalued compared to the mid and small cap segments. Also, second, RBI's regulatory actions again. So, there were NBFCs, the asset quality and the risk management in some NBFCs was concerning. And the RBI is taking strict regulatory actions against this. And because of that, also a few NBFC names also did come up. And there we feel because of that as well, there was correction in terms of the stock prices there. As if you see, there is a scandal which was happening at the Mahadev betting app scandal, where a lot of small cap stocks, like 19 small cap stocks, were being overbought into. Okay, so thousands of crores was being invested in non-quality small caps. What do I mean by non-quality? Where we feel that the stocks do not have that much value, like the orders are not there, or we don't think there is execution capabilities, and yet people are going and betting on these stocks or taking these stocks just because their prices are going up day on day. So this Mahadev betting app scandal was figured by the government. And, also because of that, we saw a decline up to 37% in 19 small cap stocks. And these are the four main reasons for a lot of market correction in the last 1 month. Can you go ahead, Nupur? Now, we've also seen pre-election, there is a lot of froth building, or there is a lot of focus on investors going and buying and holding PSU stocks. And we've seen over the years, okay, look at 2004 elections or, 2014, the post and the pre-elections data. We've compared this in 2004, 2014, 2019, where PSU stocks really rallied before 2000. In 2004, see the rally of the PSU stocks and how post the election they all have corrected. It has been a series of events, and we've seen this happening every election, mostly in most elections. Expectation is PSUs will really do well. Government will, be spending a lot on, reviving or doing better or allocating a lot of capital to these PSUs, and they'll do really well. And that's the idea that, a lot of people have, and they buy into PSUs. But I feel a lot of this, the market has already taken in, and that's why the rallies already happened. So just because of the post pre-election agenda of buying into PSUs, if you're going ahead and investing in PSUs, of course we have seen over the years that that's not a very good decision to make. So you should be wary of that and not hold on to stocks just because of the election fever.
So, Sneha, markets have been very volatile in the past few weeks. So we would like to know from you what macros are telling us.
Of course, what I've discussed is around the post pre-elections and the reasons that markets kind of the small and mid caps were beaten down. Now let's look at it from a large cap, from a macro factor. So the small cap stocks rally, right? Why is it going down from a macro perspective also? Because the earnings are in lackluster. So the large and mid caps, if you look at all the charts or everything that, at least from a fundamental aspect, is adding up that the large and mid caps are much better placed today compared to or relative from a small cap, at least going and buying and holding into small caps. So if you look at the change in, the left chart, which is the change in indexes, the performance is shown on a daily basis. On a daily basis, how markets are or how indexes are correcting. And if you go to see, the small caps have been extremely volatile in this place. And if you even see the 3-month index performance, we can see that the small caps have really correcting compared to the large and mid caps, which is the green and the blue line. So we can see that yes, even the market is now understanding, and the moving of just sticking to quality companies and small caps is definitely happening and can be seen from the market index performances. Now, the second point to look at is the P multiples. So if you even see the P multiples, we've shown the chart on the left hand side, which is the P multiples that are, if you again see over here, the Nifty small cap is the blue line. Of course, the P multiples showed that they are really overvalued. So the small cap stocks, most of them, at least the non-quality companies, is what we feel is really overvalued. This space looks very overvalued compared to again the mid caps and the Nifty 50. And if we look at the change in P multiple, month and month changes, we can see that in the small cap space, right, the change is really much bigger. So when we are looking at the charts here, what we see is the change in P multiples plus the P multiples of small caps are overvalued here, and even the change is much lesser in the small cap space. So at this moment, definitely we are heading towards, at least quality wise and from a portfolio perspective also, we think large and mid caps are far better placed today on or now on.
Okay, thank you for that, Sneha. Shubham, there is one strategy worth looking into which, despite the market volatility, has been able to beat the market.
Yeah, actually, it was a great explanation from Sneha about the macro part. And recently, we have started a new small case called as Trendblend. So Trendblend is a concentrated momentum portfolio, and it means that it is a momentum portfolio with only limited numbers of stocks. With much more frequent rebalancing. So in Trendblend, you have to expect a lot of rebalancing for the coming 6 months. And we have we have tailor made it so that you can take the advantage of the trend in the market and generate high alpha returns and also create a lot of value in the current scenario. So, as Neha said, right, that in the last 2 months, the small cap index was looking overvalued. The same strategy we applied in a small case. At the start of the month when we launched the trend, a small cap exposure was around 100%. But now what we have did, we have cut down our 100% exposure of small cap to around 46%, and 16% is in mid cap, and the rest percentage we have allocated in debt instruments. So if you see right from the last 2 months, small cap has fallen to 10 to 14%, but our trend blend is up by 12%. The strategy behind a small case is very simple. We focus much more on the portfolio allocation part. Just a second. Can you slide down the yeah, can you go up, Nupur? Yeah. So if you'll see the segment composition, right, around 36 to 38% is invested in debt. So the first important point in our trend blend would be the allocation part, because whenever we get an idea that the small cap won't perform or the mid caps is looking a little bit overvalued, we'll change our allocation. The second point is momentum. I mean, the rest 50% which we have invested in equities are all momentum based companies. They are obviously they are fundamentally sound, and they are valued at a good valuation currently. But most of the companies are momentum. Now, what happens is whenever you will see a small cap fund, or a small case with 100% exposure in small caps, they buy an overvalued companies with the momentum, because whichever company are there in momentum, they are always highly priced. But if you look at our if you look at our companies by going to our fact sheet, you will see that the ratios of P ratios of PB, they are still very good compared to the index. So this means that the company which we are buying at the momentum strategy, they are still undervalued to the market. This is the second most important point in the small case. And the third one is active rebalancing. As Neha said, right, that the small caps still looking very overvalued, and there are there are frauds going around. RBI being very strict with the NBFCs. We think that the next 6 months could be very volatile. So that's the reason our rebalancing schedule is still not quarterly or annually. We are rebalancing it very actively. So we have decided to rebalance it actively till the next 6 months. And once the volatility gets end after election results, we will schedule it to monthly or quarterly. So that's a small update about the trend and the strategy behind what we are going to use it. Over to you, Sneha, ma'am.
So in a sense, if you're looking at investing, of course, Trendblend gives you a way to take care of volatility in your portfolios and yet be, in front of the markets. So in terms of your investment strategies, of course, you have to keep a long-term approach. Don't go for what looks good today. Go for, what will give you, what will help your portfolios in the next 2-3 years. We expect volatility to continue at least for the next 6-8 months. Of course, we maintain a buy and hold approach, or do not hold your portfolios with poor quality stocks. Go for stocks which have fundamental and quality companies within the portfolios. That's very important and crucial for your long-term wealth creation. Also, there are a lot of small caps which probably did well due to the base effect, and they may not be so good in terms of quality or what their future looks like. So definitely a reassessment is needed, especially for those stocks if they are in your portfolio. Of course, we are overweight large caps at the moment, large and mid caps to a certain extent, and believe that the strong market leadership positions will do well. And for any momentum or any strategy where you need 10-15% allocation to take care of the volatility of the future, of course, you can look at Trendblend, which could poise as a good alternative investment strategy. Yes, over from my side, thank you, Shubham and Nupur as well, to take us through the Trendblend strategy. Thank you.